What's going on? It's Room Cash. I'm going to be telling you guys about the first time I tripped on mushrooms. So this all started about a year ago. And it was a cloudy day. It was kind of rainy actually. It was a foggy day. It was a day that wasn't very unique. It was really foggy. Early winter. So there were no leaves on the trees. There was no sun at all. It was just cloudy and very foggy. And I had gotten my hands on some mushrooms, 2 grams to be exact. I bought it off a friend, and I wanted to do it alone. So it was actually on a school day. I think it was a Thursday. I might be wrong, but I think it was a Thursday. And this day, I decided I was gonna do them on Saturday, but I decided I was gonna do them today. I couldn't wait. I was too eager to try them. So here I am. I have them in front of me, and I took like tiny little piece, and I was like, And then I don't know. Something made me just want to take everything. So I was like, I'll just take everything. Why am I trying a little piece? It's not worth it. So I took it all. Now, after I took the mushrooms, about 30 minutes had passed, and I started feeling a little off, like a little bit, like kind of zoned out. I don't really know how to explain it. I was just kind of like calm, but not really. I was just kind of very zoned out and really kind of confused. And over the time, it was getting weirder and weirder. And probably after an hour, I would say about an hour in, I noticed the first visual effects. Everything got a little sharper. Everything got brighter. And the main thing I noticed was the wall. Actually, it was a painting. It was a painting in my house, and it was zooming in and out. Like, I couldn't tell if it was close or not. And it was really weird. So that happened, and I was in this mindset. I was very just like confused. Like, it was like my first time being born or something. It was really weird. I was just staring at everything, but I wasn't even tripping that hard. So then I went back to my room, because this painting was in my living room. I went back to my room, and I just kind of, it's about 3 p.m. by the way, so school was done. So I'm in my room. I had some LED lights around, and I was looking at them. They were kind of like moving around a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't too intense. And I laid in my bed and just kind of like scrolled on my phone. I remember the letters on my phone. It was something I was reading. The letters were kind of like moving up and down. It was really weird. And after that, I decided, now we're probably like an hour and a half, maybe even closer to 2. At this point, I think I was playing video games and just kind of enjoying it. And it was definitely a good time. But I was just so like confused. I was quiet and just like staring into everything. And eventually, I wanted to smoke a joint. I wanted to smoke a little bit of weed. So I had this joint rolled up. I already rolled it up before I took the mushrooms. And I was like, okay, let me just go smoke this outside. So I'm looking for a lighter. Now, I couldn't find one. I was looking everywhere. I knew I had one. I just couldn't find it. I was looking everywhere. And I was so confused. I just couldn't find my lighter. I was looking everywhere, and it was the most frustrating thing, because I'm pretty sure I spent over 2 hours kind of in this thought loop, and I was just looking for my lighter, and then I would go get distracted, and then I would go do something, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, where's my lighter? And then I would look around, and I just couldn't find it. And it was so confusing to me because I was staring into everything, and I would get distracted so easily and then remember that I need to find my lighter. So after 2 hours of all that, like there was some tripping in between and all that, but it wasn't anything too intense. And I just couldn't find my lighter. So eventually I went upstairs. I brought the joint with me. I went upstairs. Now, I was determined to smoke this now. It's been 2 hours. I was ready. So I had this brilliant idea that I would turn on the stove. I would turn on the stove and light it there and then run outside so no one would smell it. And yeah, I don't think I ended up doing that. I think what I ended up doing was grabbing a paper towel, lighting it on fire with the stove, running outside with a paper towel on fire, and just lit the joint, just like that. And it worked. I mean, it worked. So I lit the joint, and then just started smoking it, and put out the little paper towel that was on fire, put it out, and I'm just looking outside, smoking this joint, having little visuals, like kind of like the forest moving back and forth. Nothing, the trees seem really tall, because in the back of my house, it's a forest. So I was just looking at it, and it was super foggy outside too. It was kind of a unique experience. So I'm smoking it. It's probably nighttime now. It was nighttime. I remember it was dark. It was starting to get dark very quick. And by the time I was done, it was dark. I was just kind of like looking at the moon, and I was really just appreciating everything, but it wasn't intense at all. I wasn't tripping intensely at all. So when I got back in, I went to the fridge and I grabbed some whipped cream. All right, and I'm starting to come down off this by now, and I just sprayed whipped cream in my mouth. And as soon as, for those who don't know this, when you put whipped cream in your mouth, the air inside can actually get you high a little bit. Don't try that. And I never did it before this. Like maybe once as a kid or something, but like I never actually really did it. So when I was tripping, I just kind of wanted to do it. So as soon as I did that, I remember my fingernails just turning into this lighter white color, and I just felt really high for like 30 seconds, and I was laughing, and I was tripping hard for a little bit, for like a minute. And by tripping, I just mean the colors being so different. Like really, because I was coming down, right? So my fingernails just look super like white, and like I don't really know. And then after that, I head back to my room and laid there. My dog came with me. I just kind of laid there and was thinking. I was just thinking all over. I was thinking about all kinds of things. And eventually fell asleep. It was a pretty good trip. I wouldn't say it was like memorable or anything. It was memorable, but it wasn't the best experience. It was all right, but what made it not the best experience was the fact that I was looking for over 2 hours just for that lighter. And the next day, I actually ended up finding it under my bed. And I was pretty mad about that, but I was also happy to find it. So yeah, that's the first time I ever tried mushrooms. Psilocybin. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. I'm out.